Welcome, welcome. Welcome to my channel. My name is Emmie from Emmie Evolving. If this is your first time joining me, thank you for finding me. If this is not your first time, thank you for coming back. This damn thing keeps falling out. Okay. So I'm doing a reading for Blu-rays. Sun, Moon, Rising, and Blu-ray. Blu-rays. There's a message that I'm being told I need to share. Something happened and it changes everything. Last night I did experience some sort of shifting. It was in the late evening after the 11/11 live stream ended. It was a huge shifting that was occurring. That's probably why there was so much electronic failure. A lot of people were having a really hard time seeing and hearing the live stream for quite a while actually. And it's a lot of shifts that continue to happen. I think the shift could potentially be the largest shift ever in the history of humanity, the history of this planet. This is a shift that affects every level of creation. Okay. I almost want to go so far as to say that this earth plane is kind of like a testing ground for all sorts of different potentialities. Run it through here first because, humanity has a much lower level of consciousness than quite a few other species. It just is. Even parasites are a high level of dimensional consciousness. Just let that really sink in. Why do people do these things to each other? Well, we're lower than parasites. We're third dimensional creatures. Parasitic beings are fourth dimensional. Let that really sink in. I'm not trying to talk shit about us. I'm just trying to help us understand why we struggle so much with the most basic concepts of compassion and love. Blu-rays, we definitely struggle through this more than other people because yes, we are in a physical density. Yes, we are here on this earth plane coming from a much higher dimensional level of consciousness. But that's the thing. In order to be born here, you had to go through a process of forgetting who you are, why you're here, what you're supposed to do, all of these details that you planned out, the connections that you're trying to reestablish in this life that really extend from previous lives. It's just one big clusterfuck. It's like a big game of blindfolded musical chairs. Oh, get the visual for that. Life is a game of blindfolded musical chairs. Good luck with that. Good luck with that. That's hard. That's hard. That's why many of us struggle with life. It's not because we're weak. It's not because we don't want to learn. It's that it is so difficult to learn when you have to filter it through this density of so much distortion. It's hard. It's really, really hard. All right. Almost done. All right. Oh. Oh, well, shit. Fucking. Now, I'm going to be honest, I didn't realize I didn't add these back to their decks. We still get the message we need. Oopsie. All right. Here goes. Here goes. So, card number 27, receiving. We are receiving all of the messages, all of the instructions, the light coding, galactic coding, all of that in order for us to rise to a higher level dimension. Message coming. Oh shit, did I take the live down? Can you guys hear and see me? Can you guys hear and see me? It's time for you guys to take your rightful place. Okay, whatever your rightful place is, you will end up there. There's a lot of chaotic things that are, okay. It's not because this is all we deserve. It's that whatever is existent right now, it has to be constructed, whether it's your thought forms, your perceptions, your programming. It has to be deconstructed in order for the original template to be reinstated. So we have to take our rightful place at this point. If you have been being positioned in a place of leadership within your circle, within your region, within your industry, whatever it is, you have to now begin taking your rightful place as leader. You have to begin consciously guiding the people who you promised before you came into this life. You promised them you would help guide them. You would help receive the messages that were too difficult for them to receive through that monkey mind known as the human consciousness. So it's time for us to really, really allow ourselves to step into our place of power. I will share this morning, I did get a comment on one of the videos. I don't know which video because I didn't bother to check. But the person was irate. They felt that I was projecting all of my bullshit onto the readings. The cards are tainted. They're sick of me trying to scare them. Boo-boo, this is not scaring you. I needed to see that comment before I went live this morning so that I could understand what this particular reading would be about. I'm not going to shrink away from any message. If the message is scary, it's probably because it's resonating and destroying the illusion you've created for yourself. I will have willful defiance to people's demands for me to shrink the message to fit their small little boxes. This is not the channel for pretty little messages. Plenty of other channels for that. This is the channel for those who came into this life to take on a warrior energy and deconstruct the system we're in right now. You're not going to do that if you're speaking all these little tiny words, making sure you don't hurt these little tiny feelings. We are so much bigger than this life. We are so much bigger than our insecurities. And trying to cater to those insecurities is not going to serve any of us, myself included. So we have to now step into our rightful place of leadership. Who we're leading, I don't know. It could just be, something as simple as you by yourself, leading yourself out of this place of toxicity you've allowed yourself to exist within. It could be something as big as, helping to encourage just by existing, not by doing anything extra, but just by existing, being present, helping to encourage your small circle to move forward from whatever it is. It can be something even more elevated where you're now helping whoever's in contact with you just by existing. Just by existing, watching you go through your process. This is why I have no shame whatsoever about allowing you guys to witness my organic reactions, my organic feelings while I'm live. I could be easily fake. I'd be like, oh, no, I'm not going to cry. I'm just going to leave this. Hi everyone. How was your day today? That's not me. That's not why you guys are here. It's time for you to really allow yourself to organically exist. If you're hurting, process that hurt. You don't always have to cry. You don't always have to make a show of it. But if the tears fall, they fall. Why would you be ashamed? Because other people, they're too narrow-minded to understand the depth and width of your existence. Well, those are the very people that needed to see it. And these people need to see it without you feeling guilty or ashamed. I'm wondering if maybe me sharing the fact that I was going through this weird, really awkward phase of insecurity. What the fuck is this? Where is this even coming from? I don't even know what I'm insecure about, but it's this feeling of, I don't know my place. I don't know who I am. What is this? It's usually at that point when people recognize that you will be challenged. They will come to you beating on their chest, acting like, now this is my space. I wish a motherfucker would. Even in my insecurity, I'll tear your ass out. You're not going to be coming in my space trying to demand shit, trying to tell me how to behave. I mean, granted, I'm not everybody's cup of tea. You can move it along. You absolutely can. But the people who are ready to see me existing in my authenticity, that's because you're ready to exist in your own. You're not here for specific types of messages. You're here to hear exactly what soul needs you to hear at whatever moment you're hearing it. So you're not here to hear about, some boy or some girl or, some job opportunity or the money or the accounts or the houses or the cars or all these material things, the trips. No, you're here like, soul, have this girl tell me what I need to focus on for myself today. She might not even realize that she's touching on the things that I'm too afraid to see. But have this girl tell me so I can just be like, all right, okay, I need to see this today. That's your role in other people's lives as well. Enter into that place of being with no fear, no reservations, no hesitations, and no bullshit. Don't bullshit yourself into believing what other people say about you, trying to shrink you, trying to tell you you're too much. I'm sorry. I'm not too much. You're just not capable of handling the depth of me. And that's okay. I'm not going to hold that against you. What I am going to do is continue walking without you. And I think that's part of what the message was in the Piscean reading this morning, this like continuing without you. If you can't find it within yourself to choose to continue to grow the way I found it within myself, to choose to continue to grow myself, then our paths have totally they've diverged, and it's okay. Your path is no worse than mine. My path is no better than yours. We're just on our different paths, and we got to keep it walking, keep it going. Allow yourself to receive your walking papers. What does that even mean? Like a spiritual draft? What does that even mean? Okay. So here's the thing. People talk about spiritual war. There's a spiritual war going on. Yeah, there is. Whatever. Whatever. It has been going on for thousands of years. You know why? Excuse me. Just like a star you see in the sky, you see it twinkling and twinkling and twinkling. It's probably going to be there way after you've already turned to dust. But that star turned to dust before you did. Why are we still seeing it? Why is it still a present thing? Because it's taken that long for that light to travel all those light years so you could see it. It's probably no longer there. It probably no longer exists. But we are still witnessing the after effects. It's the same thing with earth and energy. It takes such a long time for that energy to filter through. That spiritual war was fought. It was already won. We are just feeling the after effects of all of this. It's a delay. We have a lag because it has to filter through all these different layers and levels of dimensional consciousness, dense matter. It's taking us a while to really experience it. Now we're towards the tail end of what that spiritual war is. That war was finished a long time ago, before we were even created. That war finished. When it entered other galaxies and star systems, those regions experienced that war. It filtered through them, but that war is actually done. You hear things about the Lyran War, the Lyran-Draco Wars, the galactic wars that were fought. You hear about these things that happened to Lemuria, to Atlantis. All of those things are echoes of what's already finished. We are now experiencing the echoes of what was once going on, but has been resolved. And this is a beautiful thing. Peace won that war. It wasn't a side, it was peace. Sometimes it's in the removal of the very things that are preventing the peace from becoming present. Sometimes it's in that we find the most struggle. If you're renovating a house, what's the hardest part? The demo. Because everything else is precision. You just put it there, you measure, The hardest part is removing the old structures that are no longer of service, of use, no longer functional. That is what we are going through right now. We are removing the thought structures that are no longer functional. We don't have to be ashamed of existing in our authenticity. We don't have to cater to other people's demands for us to continue to feed their illusion. That's not why we're here. It's just not why we're here. So card number 28, collaborative dreaming. We're in this collaborative dream. All of us are creating this. All of us together are creating this experience for ourselves and for other people. What are you creating? If you become aware that you can control your dreams, are you still just an unwilling observer of those dreams? Or can you now control the dream and create the type of experience you want? I remember as a child, I was having this nightmare that this robot was chasing me. And it was so intense. And I was just running and running and running. And suddenly I was in the house where I grew up, the house where we were living at the time. And I was going to run up the stairs, and I hopped over 2 steps with 1 foot, and my other leg I couldn't move it for some reason. I was like, what the hell? And then the robot was there. And I got really mad. It's like, hold on. You need to go back 15 feet. Something's wrong with my foot. And I was trying. So he went back 15 feet. And then he was coming again. And then I was like, hold on. Something's still wrong with my foot. You have to go back. And so the robot went back. And then finally I got sick and tired of not being able to move my foot. And I was like, fuck this. I don't want to dream this anymore. And I was just sitting beside a pond. And that was it. And then I woke up only to realize my father, I guess I had been running in my sleep. My legs had been moving, and he pinned my leg down. And that's why I couldn't move it. So the robot should have got me. But I was like, fuck that. You need to back up because this is not fair. For some reason, I can't move my leg. You need to back up. When you recognize that you can control this dream that we live within, you can start creating some really profound opportunities for yourself. Not just opportunities to make money. I'm talking about opportunities to raise you up in your awareness, to cause you to be better prepared to fulfill whatever service you promise to serve in this life. We're being called to duty. We're being called to duty. For all of you Blu-rays, whatever shifted last night, we are being called to duty. And yes, there is a war being fought right now, a spiritual war. You win this war not with violence, not with physical violence. This is a different type of war. There are so many different ways to do this. Each of us having a different way to do this, a different set of solutions for ourselves. These readings are nothing more than triggers to get you started thinking for yourself. So you're being asked to bring it into form. Bring it into form. What are you bringing into form? If you're going to just allow the words of other people to initiate more fear, the only thing you are bringing into form is things to be fearful of. And I don't know, maybe that's what makes it so difficult for some people to understand my readings, and for me to understand some people, is because I don't say anything like you should be afraid. Like, fuck that. Why do you have to be afraid? Because there's a monster? Well, shit, find a way to disable the monster. You know, like my mindset has gone somewhere else. And maybe there's a middle ground that needs to be met, where I have to constantly like, okay, I'm not telling you this to be scared. Don't be scared. Like, I'd like to think we're equals, where I don't have to be like, don't be scared, okay? Lots of really shitty things are going to happen, but don't be scared. Why would you be scared? If you're here to serve and you're of higher consciousness, isn't it time to recognize that fear that you have of random ass shit that I say? It might be triggering some messages that your soul's been giving you, and you haven't been wanting to listen. Because really, what does fear do? It serves a purpose. Back when we were still terrestrial beings, when we weren't yet human, that wild animal, it had to survive. And one of the ways it survives is through fear. Fear helps to bring to the forefront of your awareness the very things you need to be most aware of in order to preserve your life. And now we don't need to exist in that way anymore. So fear has shifted in its purpose. Whatever you're afraid of is the very thing you should be focusing on. Why are you afraid? Where is this fear rooted? Why does this fear exist? Why are you refusing to address what this fear is? I mean, I don't know the answers to that. Only you know the answers to that. Why are you afraid? If what I say doesn't make sense, why does it make you afraid? It shouldn't, because you should totally be like, this girl is full of shit. I'm not going to listen to her anymore. Perfect. That's you thinking for yourself. Perfect. Like I said, I'm not here for the sub count. I'm here to trigger learning within you. And if your learning leads you away from me, perfect, beautiful. Because you were never meant to just stay here and be like, well, I got to stay because then she thinks I'm not loyal. How about you have loyalty to yourself first? How about you have loyalty to yourself enough to know when things are making you afraid, because these are things within yourself that you're not quite yet ready to address because you don't believe you are. How can I have more faith in you than you have in yourself? How does that work? Where I have more faith in your courage than you do in yourself. And that's why I have no fear or hesitation of just saying things, just blurting it out. Because really, sometimes when I don't have the confidence that someone can handle something, I will first ask them, well, do you scare easily? Because I can kind of feel that, I don't want to just put you in a place where it's just completely fear-based and then it's not going to be productive. So I'll ask you first. So doesn't it say something that I can trust in your courage to overcome your circumstance and your fear more than you can? Where it's like, oh my God, it's shutting me down because, oh my God, it's scary. What's scary about it? What's happening in your life that's resonating so deeply that you feel like you should be afraid and I'm peddling fear? Like, what is it? What is it? Queen of Autumn, generous, stylish, gracious, practical. Be practical with respect to how you proceed. The ability to make anything more beautiful. Meeting someone who can help your dreams come true. Be practical in the way you receive messages. Be practical in what you do with those messages. Are you going to use those messages to perpetuate your fear? Or are you going to use those messages to perpetuate your grace, compassion, and understanding of self and soul? Because really, who am I to you that the words should have that much effect? Nobody. Like, nobody. So 7 of Autumn, have patience and don't worry. Take time to rest and plan your next steps. A prudent investment of time or money. So being practical with respect to how you proceed. A prudent investment in yourself. Taking time to rest and plan your next steps. You're being told exactly what to do here. You are totally being told what to do. Just be careful. Be careful who you allow to plant seeds in your garden. Here's the thing, okay? So every person you come across will plant seeds in the garden of your mind. Every single person you come across, whether it's on TV, online, in person, at work, socially, every single person you come across will plant seeds. Some people will plant toxic seeds. Some people will plant beautiful, nourishing seeds. Seeds that will grow into plants that will help to sustain and nurture you. Now, those seeds don't do anything unless you water them. So you could take the beautiful waters from your heart's oceans and water these seeds and see them come to fruition. Yeah. So when you do that, the beautiful seeds continue to be beautiful. The toxic seeds continue to be toxic. The truth of you is allowing other people to be who they are. Now, there is a thing that many of us probably don't think of. And this thing is, I could be planting perfectly fine, healthy seeds in your garden. But if you're going to water it from your pools of toxicity, that seed will become toxic. So is the issue really with my message or the way you're receiving the message because you refuse to address your life? That's a mind blower, isn't it? Are the seeds perfectly fine? It's your own waters that are toxic. We don't know. That's something you have to kind of look within yourself. So be careful of what seeds you allow in. Be careful of what you use to water those seeds. Because again, the seeds can be perfectly fine and they can lead to your nourishment, sustainment later on. But if you're going to water that with toxicity, it's going to be toxic ass thing. It's just like how they say the cuties, those cute little oranges, they're so delicious, right? But they're allegedly watered with fracking water. So I don't know. Maybe they're not so delicious because that gets embedded in the fruit. What are you using to water the seeds that your soul is planting or allowing to plant in your garden? Because you're going to be eating the fruit of that. At some point, it will grow enough that it will need to be harvested. And who's going to eat that? You will, and everyone else you share a meal with. So everyone else that sits at your table, whether it's your family, whether it's your friends, whether it's people at work, they will then be eating from that same toxicity as well. So it's going to spread. So 7 of Summer. No more procrastinating. Your power comes from making a decision. Confusion that arises from overanalyzing the options. Are you overanalyzing? If you are overanalyzing, then what conclusions are you coming to? Because sometimes overanalyzing can lead to some very profound revelations to self. Sometimes overanalyzing just wastes your time and energy. If you're able to come to some sort of conclusion that will benefit your learning, then by all means, keep overanalyzing. But if you're overanalyzing simply creates more things to be worried about and needing to overanalyze later on, what good is that? What good is that? Opposition is always toxic. I don't know. I oppose a lot of the bullshit that people try and put upon me, and it's not toxic. I mean, I can be honest with myself when I am toxic, but me being opposed to the domination of a sovereign, that's not toxic. Card number 26, protection, set personal boundaries. That's the setting and enforcing of personal boundaries. The opposition, I opposed your entry into my field. Not toxic, you know? So just, you know, think on that. Like in that case, you know, with the in-laws being toxic because they oppose you, well, don't you oppose them as well? Right? So is their toxicity being mirrored back at you? Are you mirroring their toxicity, or are they mirroring yours? It's very easy for us to point at other people and be like, you're the problem, you're the problem. I don't know. For me, it's like, why are you irritating me? What the fuck is within me? Like, what is it in me that's getting so triggered by you? Because I can't even stand your face. What is it? What is it? And usually the issue is within me, and they're just bringing it out of me. So if you can look within yourself and see what parts of you are opposing your growth, that your soul is bringing you an outward evidence, I guess, a projection of that internal circumstance. What is it? Card number 19, feel loved and proud. Blue rays struggle so hard with allowing other people to love us. We struggle so hard with it. So hard. Why is that? I don't know what it is, but Blue rays, we feel so different and so like out there that I don't know. It's almost a sense of like, we feel like it's too much for other people, too much for them to have to deal with us, to have to be present as we go through such elevated and such deep lessons. Is it a fear that they won't be able to survive that with you? Is it a fear that maybe witnessing it, they'll see something they don't like and suddenly, Your once unfounded fear of rejection is now finding its feet. Suddenly you realize, oh, I really am not worth it. I don't know. Card number 13, liberation, free yourself. You have to free yourself from whatever it is you are wrapping around yourself in an attempt to be worthy of other people. If you can't find your worth, you cannot expect other people to know it. I mean, there are people who exist who will be able to see it within you without you trying. But you can't expect everyone to be able to do that. You have to find your worth before you can find other people's worths. Because really, what you find worthy within me, and this is the kicker, okay? Whatever you find so admirable and worthy within me, those are aspects of you that you're recognizing in me and have kept ignoring about yourself. Those are aspects of you. I don't know if you know that. The things that you admire in me, those are the parts of you that have been trying to get your attention for how long? Begging you to allow that to come to the surface to serve you in this life. It's just really, one of those things. Hi, this is not a personal reading. This is for Blu-rays. So yeah, it's just one of those things where we have to really, really recognize we are greatness, whether we recognize it or not. Whether you recognize how amazing you are, whether other people who are around you recognize this, it's really irrelevant. We don't need to believe in God for God to exist. Another kicker. Does Tiffany out in Timbuktu, who I've never met and I don't know who exists, who doesn't know I exist, because she doesn't know I exist, I no longer exist? Not how it works. I exist independently from her. You and your conscious mind have been existing independently from your greatness. And once you're able to merge the two, you'll find a totality so profound that nothing in this life can shake you anymore. Once you can merge the two, you'll reach that point of being. So find your strength, okay? Find your strength, allow yourself to continue growing. Whether people find your growth beautiful or not is irrelevant. Who cares what they think? Allow yourself to reach a level of high priestess here on earth. Allow yourself to reach higher levels under an understanding of yourself and soul. Allow yourself to reach depths within you that you didn't realize you could reach. Just because you don't think you can reach it doesn't mean you can't. That's kind of just how I've seen life for so long. Just because I don't doesn't mean it can't. Whatever the message is, whatever it is. Just because I don't doesn't mean it can't. Just because I'm negative doesn't mean it's not positive. And I will learn the positivity in it as I learn the lessons being fully present. So it's time for all of the stuff that you've been allowing to interfere with your process in your mind and your perception, all of these things, allow it to come to a conclusion. Just, just let it stop. Let it bury that shit. It died. Bury it. Really, just bury it. Allow yourself to let go of it. Carrying it around is a burden. Okay? It's a burden. Allowing things from the past to continue riding on your back, telling you where to go. I mean, you have a cock on your head. Y'all, it's just let it go. Stop carrying it around with you. Okay? Stop. Look at how you look at this point. Look at that, riding on you, all this shit from the past, letting it ride on you. Just because it no longer rides on your back doesn't mean it never happened. You still will have to address it. You still will have to heal those wounds. You still got to do the stretches because I bet your back is fucked from carrying all that. And here's the most beautiful thing. When you're ready to address it, it's going to have to climb down off your back. So you can truly see it eye to eye, really looking at it in front of you. And maybe that's how you get it off your back, by choosing to finally address it. Because again, in order for you to actually address it, it has to climb off of your back and stand in front of you. So we're reaching a place of completion within ourselves. We are gathering all of our pieces and allowing ourselves to see the big picture. The big picture is a picture of your face, your inner divinity. This is about recognizing every single person you come across will hold within them a fractal of your identity, a fractal of your history. I'm wondering if that's why we come across people to begin with. Because their presence in our life will trigger a remembrance of a place where you two once existed together. Whether it was romantic or not is irrelevant. A place where you guys existed together. And just like with PTSD, where once you get triggered, you go right back to that specific place where that trauma happened. You're going right back to that specific place and you're retrieving your abilities from that time. I'm wondering why that's why our paths cross with so many people. We're gathering all the puzzle pieces so we can put ourselves back together. Letting go. It's time to let go. It's time to let go of what has already shifted and moved out of relevancy. If it's no longer relevant to your journey, to your learning, let it go. When people continue to hold on to the things that haven't happened to them in the past, they're carrying around that cock again. That cock-a-doodle dude. They're carrying it around. It's up to you if you want to continue carrying it, but it's not going to serve you. It's not going to suddenly make your journey much easier because now you realize the chicken's on your head. You still have to take it off your head. Ooh, oh shit. So there was that one scene out of one of those Minion movies where the dad, I forget his fucking name. He was on a date or something. No. It was a restaurant and there was a chicken that was left in the kitchen to guard the restaurant. Do you guys remember that? And they leave the chicken there. Like he was like going after some Gru. They were going after some mob guy or something like that. And there was a chicken that was a pet and that chicken guards the kitchen or the restaurant or whatever the fuck it was guarding. And when people go there without permission, it tells on them. It makes a big ass fuss. It tells on them. That chicken on your head is telling on you. It's telling all your internal demons which way to go, which way you're heading and which way to go to block you from your own growth. Ain't that some shit? Get that chicken out and make some fried chicken shit. Batter you up, put you in an air fryer. Use some tapioca flour. That's the key. I'm like grain free. I can't have any grains. You use some tapioca flour. You dredge it in that. Spice it up real good. Dredge it in that. Put it in an air fryer. I'm just saying. That's not how it's good right now. So first I fry it in a frying pan, not with a ton of oil. But whatever juices leak out of the chicken, that tapioca flour, it expands, it soaks it up. And when you put it in an air fryer, when it's done cooking, it's all nice and brown, right? You put it in an air fryer, it crisps it up, but it also is super fucking juicy. Oh my God. Okay, final few cards because I got to get going. Final few cards. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. Okay. Oh, it's right here. I'm so silly. The Fool in reverse: bad decision, apathy, hesitation, and negligence. Do not allow yourself to become apathetic, okay? Do not allow yourself to become apathetic with your journey, with your life. Hold on. Showing or feeling no interest, enthusiasm, or concerned. Unmoved, unresponsive. Spiritless. Spiritless, unconcerned. Just because you know you can handle this life doesn't mean you have to be you don't have to be fully present in it anymore. Okay? Don't be so unconcerned that you are now allowing yourself to be easily breached, easily manipulated. Be fully present in your life. Be fully present, okay? I know this one's a bad one too. Two of Pentacles in reverse: literary ability, agility in handling matters, simulated enjoyment, enforced gaiety, letter and message. The message is, don't pretend everything's okay if it's not, okay? Don't pretend to yourself. If you feel you are not yet confident in yourself enough to be real with your emotions in front of other people, that's fine. But don't fake it with yourself too. Don't tell yourself you're okay if you know you're not. There's nothing powerful about denying your basic needs. And acknowledgement is one of the most basic needs of individuals. How many elderly people are degrading in health simply because their family no longer acknowledges them? That really there's no reason for this failure to thrive other than the fact that they feel like they no longer matter. So what's the point of being here? Don't allow yourself to be so unconcerned. Acknowledgement is very, very important. If other people can't acknowledge you, can't acknowledge your journey, then acknowledge it yourself, okay? Don't put a dick back on your head, just like Jim says. Okay, cockadoodle do. 9 of Cups, improvement underway, feeling snug or pleased. Okay, don't be this guy either. Okay? Don't be this guy either. Like, what are you looking so smug for? This guy always irritates me. Hold on. 9 of Cups. Like, what are you so smug for? You're fucking wearing a dress, jammy with a red hat, and like your room sucks. Oh my God. He just fucking annoys me. Like, what are you so smug for real? So 9 of Cups, success, advantage, well-being, abundance, good health, difficulties surmounted. Yes, it's a good card. I always get a negative feeling from that card just because of his fucking face. Makes me want to slap you. Like, what's up? What are you lying about? What secrets are you keeping? Like, if my husband ever stood in front of me looking like that, I'd be like, motherfucker, it's on. You're like, for what? I don't know, but your face said it all. I don't know what's up with that. 9 of, okay, no. 5 of Pentacles. Destitute, lost, failure, error, mistress, lover. See what I'm saying? This is what's behind him. No. So if you're doing well and you kind of can't be bothered to continue with that good path, your soul will give you what you want. Okay? If you feel like you don't deserve that goodness, your soul will agree with you. If you feel like, you've been given too much, you have life too good, And why would you think that anyways? Oh, that's right, because people program you to think that. Then that's what your soul will give you. Creation doesn't deal in the negatives. It will give you everything you ask for. So 6 of Pentacles. Ooh, selfishness, envy, jealousy, bad debt, unpaid loans. That's what it is. I'm wondering if this is not you. If this is someone else and they're smug because they want you to suffer. They want you to be without. They want you to struggle. They want all of this ugly shit for you. Why is that? Because they're jealous bitches. Are you going to let that? You're okay with that? Where's my cards? You okay with that? Because if you're not okay with that, then really don't be okay with that. Don't like be quiet about not being okay with it. When it comes and faces you, you have to be like, bitch, what I say to you. No, don't do that. Don't do that. I don't do that. I'd be like, I'm gonna see you later. Just don't actually physically fight anyone. That's not good. Allow yourself to be liberated from all of this though, okay? Allow yourself to really move forward in this journey and allow your growth. Remember, no one else has, wait, what? Wait. You're cussing out your boss tomorrow about your check? What happened? You okay? Okay. Whoa, death is imminent. What is going on in the comments? Hey, you know what? I'm gonna mind my business. I got my own problems with my hair. We're gonna get going. You guys, if you could give this video a thumbs up, please do. If you haven't already subscribed, please do subscribe. Turn on that notification bell. Join me when I'm live. I gotta go. Love you guys.